It is 32 years since Walter Mendis, former corporate creative director of Mudra Communications, gave the tagline God's Own Country to Kerala's tourism brand in 1989. Of course, the phrase God's Own Country was first used by English writer Edward de Boer in 1807 to describe the Wicklow Mountains in Dublin, Ireland. Over the past 32 years, however, God's Own Country instantly triggers thoughts of Kerala, a state so abundantly blessed with natural beauty that one would even think that it has been an unfair act of God to give so much riches to one place. But this week, that brand image has been turned virtually on its head by one of Kerala's leading entrepreneurs who says, in the context of Kerala's unhelpful politicians, threatening unions and corrupt government officials, that Kerala will soon be dog's own country, as millions of unemployed youth migrate out of the state and senior citizens in the state are left with dogs to guard them. Here's a diagnosis by Sabu Jacob, managing director of the Kitex Group, a garment major that makes nearly 1 million pieces of kids wear every day, exports mainly to the United States, and employs roughly 15,000.
ഞങ്ങൾ നിയമം അനുസരിച്ച് പോകുന്നു എന്നുള്ളത് മാത്രമാണ് പ്രശ്നം. നിയമം ലംഘിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ കേരളത്തിൽ ഏത് വ്യവസായവും നടത്താം. കൈക്കൂലി കൊടുത്താൽ മതി, രാഷ്ട്രീയക്കാർക്ക് കൊടുത്താൽ മതി, ഞങ്ങൾ ചെലവാക്കിക്കൊള്ളാമെന്ന് പറയും. അങ്ങനെ ചെലവാക്കിയാണ് കേരളം ഈ ഗതിയിലേക്ക് പോയത്. 150 കോടി ഓരോ ദിവസവും കടമെടുക്കേണ്ട സാഹചര്യത്തിലേക്ക് വന്നത് എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ്? ഈ രീതിയിൽ മുന്നോട്ട് പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ 25 വർഷത്തിനുള്ളിൽ പട്ടികളെ വളർത്തുന്ന സാഹചര്യം വരും നമ്മുടെ കുടുംബങ്ങളിൽ. ഇന്ന് ഏതെങ്കിലും കുട്ടികൾക്ക് ഇവിടെ നിൽക്കാൻ സാധിക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ? ഇപ്പം അടുത്ത റിപ്പോർട്ട് വന്നില്ലേ, 43% യുവജനങ്ങൾക്ക് തൊഴിലില്ല. ഇന്നിപ്പോൾ വീടുകളിൽ പട്ടികളെയാണ് വളർത്തുന്നത്. അച്ഛനമ്മമാർക്ക് കൂട്ടായിട്ട് കുട്ടികളില്ല ഇവിടെ.
If you are aware of the ease of doing business rankings of different states, this will come as no surprise. The list shows Andhra Pradesh in first place, Uttar Pradesh second, Telangana third, and Kerala 28th. How these rankings work out in real life was demonstrated recently when third-ranked Telangana grabbed what should have been a major investment by Kitex Group in 28th ranked Kerala. Listen to how Telangana Industry Minister K.T. Ramarao pulled this off.
A very interesting story about Kitex now. One Monday, when I'm reading a newspaper, I see a news report which said that Kitex Group has decided to exit Kerala. So I just immediately clicked the picture, sent it to my dear friend, my principal secretary Jayesh Ranjan. I said, Jayesh bhai, ek kaam karo. Please reach out to Mr. Sabu Jacob.
To cut the story short, Kitex decided to invest 24 billion rupees in Warangal and Rangareddy districts of Telangana, creating 22,000 direct jobs and some 18,000 indirect jobs. In other words, Kerala just lost 40,000 jobs at a time when Kerala's unemployment rate is frighteningly high. A recent periodic labour force survey has shown Kerala's youth unemployment, meaning those between 15 and 29 years, at 43% between October and December 2020, up from 36% in 2019. This bit of statistic would be heartbreaking for Kerala's youth, but in no way affects three groups of people in Kerala: the politicians who have carefully nurtured their vote banks, corrupt government officials who are virtually unsackable, and trade unions and organized groups who extract Noku Kuli or goking fee. If you're not a Keralite, you probably need an explanation of what Noku Kuli or goking fee is. Believe it or not, in Kerala, when you load or unload stuff, you need to pay people who are watching you do it. Meaning you pay the onlookers for doing your own work when they are organized trade unions or organized groups of people. Noku Kuli, in fact, would be a straight candidate for Ripley's Believe It or Not. The government repeatedly says it's banned. The courts keep saying it is unlawful. But if you have to load or unload anything in Kerala, Noku Kuli or goking fee is the norm. Nobody is exempted. Individuals, farmers, traders, factories, not even the Indian Space Research Organization. This month, a truck carrying 2 giant syntax chambers meant for the ISRO was stopped by a group of people demanding Noku Kuli or goking fee to let the vehicle into the campus of the Vikram Sarabhai Space Center near the Kerala state capital. How unfair it is to compare an ISRO to an Elon Musk's SpaceX or a Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic, who pay no goking fee to take tourists to space virtually every other day. One would be even more appreciative of ISRO's efforts, knowing that it has to fight Noku Kuli demands before sending rockets to space. Kerala's entrepreneurs are fleeced at every stage by headload workers demanding Noku Kuli, says PC Syriac, a former IAS officer, a former Chief Secretary of Tamil Nadu, and currently the Kerala state convener of the Aam Aadmi Party.
These people start extracting their money even from the beginning of construction. Number one, by unloading the construction materials. Number two, during the process of unloading of the machinery, etc., when they come in for installation. And number three, even later, loading of the finished products. At every stage, these people demand their pound of flesh.
Dodge the headload workers and you walk right into the inspection Raj. Sabu Jacob's firm was raided as many as 13 times in recent months. And Kerala's government officials are no different from their peers in other states in bribe taking. This week, an assistant motor vehicles inspector in Kottayam district was caught on camera by vigilance officials. In Fort Kochi recently, Kerala set a new national record of sorts when all 26 employees of the Revenue Divisional Office were transferred out on corruption allegations. All 26 of them. Any private company would immediately sack an employee caught for corruption, but not in India's government service. Instead, they get a transfer, which enables them to carry on happily in new pastures. And if any government official lands in serious trouble, their political masters are always at hand to bail them out. But there is an amazing irony in Kerala's sorry state of affairs. It actually helps the state to earn tons of money. Unhelpful conditions at home force millions of Keralites to migrate out and remit money upwards of ₹1 trillion each year. So is the mass migration of Keralites to every corner of the globe a blessing or a bane? 2 million Keralites in the Middle East, 2 million in the rest of the world, 6 million in other states of India, compared to the 35 million at home. I spoke to S. Irudayarajan, economist and chairman of the International Institute for Migration and Development.
I can't say it is bad or it is good, but it is all depend upon what you are going to get out of the migration. Somebody goes there and brings so much investment or brings so much money, how can we say it is bad? But the land of old people, it will be there because, you have achieved low fertility long time back. You have to, because every action is a reaction, because when you have low fertility for the last 30 years, you have to get into the aging problem. Not the question of unemployment. I think I will put it mostly aspiration of Malayalis.
Some of those Keralites who have taken off on those wings of aspiration have been exceedingly successful. Like an M.A. Yusuf Ali of the Lulu Group, who employs 57,000 people around the world, of whom 30,000 are Indians, or a Ravi Pillai of the RP Group, who employs even more, 85,000 people, across GCC countries and elsewhere. Numerous other Keralites have been basking in success outside the state. Sabu Jacob fears dog days are ahead for Kerala. The question is whether Keralites in Kerala will have their day. Because we are on the subject of dogs, I leave you with these images, which are pointers to the already rising stature of dogs in Kerala. Yesterday, September 20th, 2 dogs, Acid and Janvi, got married in grand fashion at a heritage Ayurvedic resort near Guruvayur, Kerala, complete with save the date cards and cake. Very much dog's own country. Thank you.